She lied to me. Nurse Mary, she's not a virgin, and I hate liars. Is this really a lie? Oh, there are a lot of misconception here. Good day everyone, and welcome back to Nurses Lecture Room YouTube channel. My name is Mercy Mary, popularly known as the Nurse with the Difference, and I make learning easy and accessible for all my viewers. Today, we are still going to be talking about virginity and hymen. Virginity and hymen, and the various ways in which a lady's hymen is broken outside sex, apart from sex. So but before we go into details into this class, if you are new on our YouTube channel, please click on that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out. For all my returning subscribers, this is Nurse Mercy saying thank you. Let's go. All right, welcome back. Like I earlier said, today we are going to be talking about virginity and hymen. This is the part 2. I've made a video on virginity and hymen where I talk about am I a virgin, the types of hymen, the difference between hymen and virginity. So I'm going to be dropping the link in the description box below so you have access to it, because this is more or less like a part 2, a continuation of that video. This video, I'm going to be explaining various ways in which the hymen can be stretched. Remember, like I said, the hymen is not broken, rather it is stretched. So I'm going to be explaining this on this video, in which the hymen of a lady can be stretched, sometimes without she knowing it has taken place. But before I go into details, there's something I want to tell you a story about a movie, a Nigerian movie I actually watched. What happened is that when couples get married, the man and the woman gets married, the full community follows them to their house. Yes, the community that are present in that wedding follows them to their house. They hand over to the man a white handkerchief and they tell the man, go inside and do what husband and wife normally do. So when the man gets into the room, he has sexual intercourse, the man comes out. If the man comes out with a white handkerchief, not stained with blood, they will tell you the woman is not a virgin. But if the man comes out with a white handkerchief stained with blood, you see the jubilation. Everybody will be celebrating that the man has married a virgin. Will you say that culture is right or wrong? By the end of this video, you'll be in a better position to answer that particular question. Okay, back to the video proper now. Generally, what I want you to note is that not all women are born with a hymen. Not all women are born with a hymen. And also, if these women are born with a hymen, not all women will bleed during their first sexual intercourse, because there's not heavy blood, it's not heavy blood flow that's going to the hymen. The hymen is not getting a heavy blood flow that will make them bleed always when they have their first sexual intercourse. Am I making sense now? So what defines virginity is not the hymen. What defines the virginity is if a lady has had sex or not. And the person in a position to answer that question is that lady herself. She is the only one that knows if she had sexual intercourse, if she has had sex or not. So you are not in the best position to tell if a lady is a virgin or not. The lady is in the best position to answer that question. So for ladies that don't bleed during their first sexual intercourse, that does not mean they are not virgin. Don't judge them. It might just be some myths dancing around. Most times, this virginity test is not generally is not medically approved, because they know that not all ladies are born with this hymen. So for those that go about checking a lady's virginity, well done, or Diego. That is why I'm here to enlighten you now on the various ways in which a lady's virginity can be broken. Sometimes it can be stretched, not broken, can be stretched without she knowing, because they've actually, like growing up, they say broken, and it's eating deep into my head to not just your head. So I'm going to be talking about the various ways in which a lady's virginity might be broken, not virginity, sorry, a lady's hymen might be stretched. You can see the confusion. They can't confuse me. So the first one in which a lady's hymen can be stretched is riding a bike. Yes, for ladies that ride a bicycle, you cycle a lot, that can break your hymen. That can stretch your hymen, not break. Then the second one is gymnastics. Ladies that do gym, they do a lot of gymnastic, especially around that pelvic routine. See, any exercise that tends to stress that pelvic region, that make you exercise, you see, cycling, all those things that make you exercise that pelvic region might stretch the hymen. Yeah. Then another is riding a horse. For ladies that ride a horse, that can also stretch their hymen. Climbing, you're climbing a mountain. You know, you are using your legs now. Your pelvic region is around there. That can also stretch the hymen. And another is vigorous exercise. I've explained it. Any vigorous exercise, you're a lady, you are exercising yourself, you want to increase your hips, you want to increase that. I'm not saying it can break it, but it might break the hymen. Vigorous exercise. Then another I have is certain tampons. For those that don't know about tampons are used for menses. They help to collect your menses. They help to take your menses. Tampons, menstrual cup that you insert into the vagina, that can actually break the hymen without you even knowing, because you're on your menses, you just put it and you just see some stretch, it comes out normally. Then another is pelvic examination, vaginal examination. When you go for those vaginal examination, if care is not taken, the hymen might be stretched during that process, so you know. Then I want you to know that sometimes this hymen, they gradually wear out without you knowing. They just start stretching small. They start stretching small. So when you have sex in the first time, you might not believe, and you're like, oh, am I having sex in the dream? What's happening? Have somebody slept with me? This and this, that and that. Those thoughts keep coming through your mind, not knowing that nothing has happened. Just that you have stretched it over time, or you were not born with a hymen. All right, so these are the various ways I've explained in which a lady's hymen might be stressed with or without her awareness. But before I go, I have little advice for the general public, both the men and the women. So the first is for the women. For the ladies out there, for the young adolescents, young girls out there that have not broken their virginity, like they call it, or that have not had their first sexual intercourse, it's something nice, it's something to be proud of, but that should not be a trophy for you to have bad behavior or bad character. Yes. And also, don't be pressured to give it out. Don't be pressured. Don't let peer group, what people say, the social media pressure you to give it out. If you are giving it out, make sure it's worth it. Make sure it's the right time, and make sure it's the right person. Don't feel pressure. Don't do it because the outside world say you should do it. Don't do it because the environment says you should. And also, if you have had sexual intercourse, you have taken the virginity away, let's put it that way, you have had sexual intercourse, that's not at the end of the world. You should not feel bad about yourself. You should not judge yourself. We all are bound to do things, but you should not judge yourself. You should not be hard on yourself, and you should not compare yourself to those that have or have not. You are unique in your own way. And for the men out there, your wife did not bleed during her first sexual intercourse does not mean she's not a virgin. She is in a better position to tell you if she's a virgin or not, because virginity is defined by sex, not bleeding during their first sexual intercourse. So if your wife tells you that she has not had sex, I think it's high time you believe her, because she's in a better position to tell you. You're not in a better position to use bleeding as a sign of, oh, she has had sex or not. And if she's a virgin or a non-virgin, that should not determine the love you give to her. You should also consider a lot of things. That is not a criteria for love. That is not a criteria for a relationship and a marriage. It all depends on two people. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm just saying my mind. I'm just saying what I feel. So if you love someone, walk up to the person, communicate with the person, find out about the person. If the person's criteria matches with yours, virginity should not be a stamp for you to pick a wife. Because you might pick a virgin today and you will not like what happens tomorrow. And you might pick a non-virgin today, and you might not like. So virginity should not be a criteria for me to pick a spouse. You just need God. For the Christians, you need God. And you need to be smart when making your decisions. So thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, don't forget to share with a friend if you got value. For all my returning subscribers, this is Nonsense Mary saying thank you. Bye and see you in our next video.